Hey gang, it's Bryan from FXBilliards. You don't need to practice your long draw shots because it doesn't come up very often. You don't go to the gym and press 250 pounds so that you can lift 250 pounds. You go to the gym and you press 250 pounds so that you can press 100 pounds, so that you can lift 100 pounds, so you can move that sofa without throwing your back out. So you can fight off an attacker in a fight that may be only putting 50 pounds of pressure on you. I sat down, pen and pad, and came up with 30 shots, 30 situations, over 30 actually, let's call it 30, we'll round it down, 30 situations that I could come up with where if you don't have a long, good, strong draw shot, you either can't run out or you can't get to your next shot. I'm going to give you 5 examples today of what a good draw shot, a good medium length draw shot will give you, that if you don't have this shot in your game, you don't run out. So let's get started. 2 things you need to know as we get started. Number 1, I'm giving you 9-ball examples. 9-ball examples happen more frequently than 8-ball examples. That's why I'm showing you using 9-ball as an example, but you could be playing 8-ball, you'd have the exact same situation here. You're playing 8-ball, you don't have a draw shot, you don't get on the 2, you get on all these other balls because you got bailed out by having so many other balls on the table. This is why even a solid 3 runs out in 8-ball. He doesn't have to get from the 1 to the 2. He can shoot a stop shot on the 1, if he pulls it off. Let's say he doesn't pull it off. He cuts in the 3, comes off a couple rails. He's accidentally on the 5. He shoots the 5, the 6, the 7. All of those short little easy shots. The reason a lot of you hate 9-ball is because you don't have the shots that we're going to talk about today. And if I take everything off of the table except for the 1 and the 2, guess what? That guy doesn't run out. And if the 2 was anywhere else, like 6 inches further over here, he can't even shoot the 2 to get out. So that's why I always say 8-ball bails you out. Not only with your bad position play, but your lack of shots that you have available to you. This is why you develop your long draw shot. I'm going to shoot them from back here. You could be up here. It's pretty much the same scenario. We need to come down table, get on the 2-ball so that we can run out from here. We come down, we have a nice angle on the 2. I know you're scared you're going to get behind this 9-ball. The odds of you getting behind this 9-ball are extremely thin. And guess what? When you have that shot, you develop this shot where you can stop it here, you can stop it there. You can come back and hit this rail. But you know where the guy that doesn't have that shot is? He's standing down here after shooting the 1 in and going, oh, I hate 9-ball, because he can't get to the 2 and has no idea what he's going to do next. This one is going to be easier to pull off than the previous shot. You only need to have a mid-range draw shot here. You have what I like to call the parallel ball problem. Comes up all the time. You got a ball there, and directly parallel to it, you've got another ball. The reason parallel ball is a problem is because you need to do something good to get on that other ball. You got to go forward with a forced follow. You got to come off of multiple rails. You got to have a decent draw shot. You got to do something good when the balls are parallel. Now, what do? Well, if you want to follow for dough, you shoot a follow shot and you end up over here looking stupid. I'm sorry. Or you can stun it off that rail like Earl Strickland, and now you're over here, right? Because Strickland wouldn't stun it. Not this shot, he's not. You're going to shoot a draw shot. And you don't have to have a great draw shot. A mid-range draw shot will put you on that 6. And guess what? You cannot just get back here and make the 6. Because if you're on the wrong side, if you have too much of an angle on the 6, you may not get on that 8. Or you get on that 8 by doing something really good, like having to go over and back. You want to be where you can shoot a straight shot, relatively straight, on that 6 so that you have a shot on the 8 without doing any work. All it requires is a mid-range draw shot. And the rail is going to help you, because if we were here, yeah, it's all you. But the second I put this ball out here, the rail is going to assist me in getting the cue ball to my spot where I want to get for the 6. So the shot looks like this. Once again, this is not a high-ranked draw shot. That's all you need. Anything else, you better be a magician, or you don't get this straight on this 6.
Hey gang, if you enjoy FX Billiards on YouTube, you'll love FXBTV. It's the ultimate streaming platform for exclusive videos, tips, and techniques you won't find anywhere else. Join now to lock in our special introductory rate and be part of the FX Billiards community.
Hello, Mr. Follow Guy. How you getting from the 5 to the 6? Let's say Mr. Follow Guy has a world-class follow shot. World class. He shoots the 5 and scratches better than anybody you've ever known. Much faster, with a lot of topspin, good follow through on it. He is world class with his follow. He should have had a mediocre draw shot rather than a world class follow shot, because he would then be out. Now, you do need more than a mediocre draw shot to pull this off. But I got to tell you guys, it's not as difficult as you think it is. You have to have an understanding of shooting this shot with low left-hand English. You got to have a decent stroke. But it doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't take as much of a good stroke as the first shot we did, where I was 6 feet down table. I don't think that it takes as much, because you're going to get assistance from the rails. So what do? Well, Mr. Follow Guy was trying to figure out why he scratched there, and everybody else on earth knows that Bryan calls that America's favorite scratch shot. Why doesn't he figure it out? We draw it back. We come a draw shot off this 5, hit this rail, with left-hand English, we come down here, and we are on the 6. Our shot looks like this. Bryan's favorite diamond, right there. If you watch this channel, you know why I call that my favorite diamond. We are on the 6 ball. Now, some of you are going to say, well, Bryan, I don't have that draw shot. Some of you are decent players and you think you don't have that draw shot. I'm going to shoot it a couple more times just to show you that you have this draw shot. Or at least that I have it a lot. We're shooting a draw. You don't have to be precise on where you hit that first rail. Low left-hand English, I changed the speed up for you because the spin is what gets you this angle. So you see, we're on the 6 again. And those of you that don't realize this is makeable, this is very makeable. I took the speed off of it, right? So now we make that shot. We have a shot at the 8. Now I'm going to shoot the same shot, and I'm going to overshoot it for you, just to show you how makeable this shot is. Our 6 ball is here. We're pretty much straight in on the 5 ball. Don't do this, guys. Just go over and move the ball. That's a really bad habit. All of us have. Now, I'm going to really put some pace on it so that you can see what happens when I hit that rail. When I hit the rail with pace, it just gets better. It just gets better. I know it looks the same as the first shot, but it just gets better. The more speed I have, the closer I get to this 6 ball. Now, if you haven't tried that shot, at least try it. Because if you have a mid-range draw shot like the acid test, I think you can pull that off with a little bit of work. If you remember at the top of the video, I explained to you that the reason you need the mid-range, at the minimum, mid-range draw shot, even if you don't have the long draw shot, is because if you have the mid-range draw shot, it opens you up to a ton of other things that you can do. Here's one of my favorites. I know I say that about a lot of shots. I probably got, let's call 10 that I call my favorites. This is one of my favorites though. Comes up a lot, or at least derivatives of this shot come up a lot. And if you don't have it, a certain position, you're just not going to get. We're on the 7, we need to get on the 8, and guess what? We are dead straight with that 7 ball. So let's talk about how you get on the 8 and all the derivatives of this shot, or at least some of them. We draw back here because if we go forward, guess what? We are scratching the corner after the 7 ball guy. But we draw back here with low left hand English. We spin our cue ball down table to get on the 8 ball. Shot looks like this. And by the way, this shot does not take a lot. If you notice how soft I hit it, you can have a mediocre stroke and pull off that shot. I was playing that shot a long time ago. I mean, at a much lower level, I was playing that shot to get down here. I'm going to share with you, though, a couple of things that you might do with that shot that you should have in your game. Low running English. That's the situation. We have this shot here where you need to get on the 8, and let's say you have to be totally straight. Totally straight, you say? How do I do that, Brian, if I'm totally straight on this one? Low left hand English. Shot looks like this. Like magic. We were on the 8 ball. 9 was blocking our way. Follow guy followed into this corner. At best, he got over here somewhere. We have a 2-foot shot on the 8 ball. It's one of the things you can do with that shot. Here we are on the 8 ball. And this is not even a shot that requires a powerful draw shot. We want to play the 9, and too many people are going forward, and you know what they do? They line up perfectly with this 9 ball, and they never have a legitimate shot. We can draw back. You guys have seen me do this before, and move in line with the 9, and now we have a much easier shot on the 9 ball. Same concept. We're using a little bit of English. We're coming off the rail, and we're using it to get shape on another ball. Get draw shots in your game. When you have the mid-range draw shot, look, I just showed you 5, 6 maybe, a bonus shot. You owe me for that one. And you weren't going to do anything else on those shots, at least nothing that made sense. That last one, you might go up and back. You might put some inside English on it. You might have perfect speed, don't you? No, you don't. But you were going to stop right there and get perfect on that ball. Don't put yourself in a position where you have to be perfect. Okay? We have a saying in poker, perfect, perfect. You're going to be perfect on the turn and perfect on the river to make your hand. That's usually the sign of a fool. The guy that thinks he's going to be perfect twice in order to get something done. That's the player you want to play each and every time. Find uses for these shots after you develop your acid test shot, and you will have a good 75, 80, maybe 100 different scenarios in your bag than the guy that is waiting for the follow shot to show up so he can finally run a rack. Have a great day. Hit us in the comments. Let us know what you think. If you're not over at FXB TV, you better run, not walk over there, because they saw this video weeks before you did. Have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe.
Hey gang, if you enjoy FX Billiards on YouTube, you'll love FXB TV. It's the ultimate streaming platform for exclusive videos, tips, and techniques you won't find anywhere else. Join now to lock in our special introductory rate and be part of the FX Billiards community.